When you hear the word sheep, what do you think of? Fluffy little clouds grazing on a hillside? Or mindless beasts following the flock? Or maybe counting yourself to sleep? If you've never set foot on a sheep farm, you may believe these 8 common myths about sheep and the people who raise them. But we're here to debunk the disinformation. In this video, we're showing why these stereotypes about sheep are all fluff. Stay tuned until the end of this video to find out if counting sheep actually helps you fall asleep. If you've ever said, "Wake up, sheeple," then you may believe the myth that sheep are mindless followers, unable to think for themselves. Sheep flock together for many reasons, but not because they're mindless. First, there's safety in numbers. That's the smart strategy. Second, sheep are highly social animals that form strongly bonded groups. They communicate through both vocalization and body language, and they experience less stress when accompanied by their flockmates. But not all sheep behave the same. These very intelligent animals exhibit individual behaviors and personalities, including optimism and pessimism. Like humans, sheep experience a phenomenon called judgment bias that impacts their mood. If sheep are frequently exposed to stressful situations, they will grow pessimistic. That's why we utilize low-stress animal handling techniques to gently herd our sheep from paddock to paddock at Grass Roots Farmers Co-op. Our sheep recognize and trust their caretakers, and they know each move brings delicious new food to forage. In fact, once we open the gate, the sheep are excited to make the journey to their next paddock, with hardly any herding. Can you spot the difference between these two animals? Many people find it hard to distinguish between sheep and goats, especially when more specific terms like ewe, ram, and lamb get involved. Both are small ruminant animals, but their appearances, diets, and behaviors are distinct. Here's how to tell them apart. A goat's tail typically sticks straight in the air, while sheep tails hang downward. If you can't tell from the tails, check out the horns. Goat horns stick straight upright. Most sheep don't have horns, but if they do, the horns will be thick and curl around the sides of the head. On pasture, sheep diligently search out short grasses, tender clover, and broad-leafed weeds, while goats dine on a wider variety of foraged materials like leaves, twigs, vines, and shrubs. If you see one of these animals standing on its hind legs to reach plants, that's definitely a goat. Want to sound like an expert when you talk about sheep? Here are 4 words you need to know. A ewe is a female sheep. These are the mamas in a sheep breeding operation. A ram is a male sheep. These fellas are the stars of breeding season, when they serve their main purpose at the farm. Lambing means giving birth to a baby sheep, which is called, you guessed it, a lamb. You can have a female ewe lamb or a male ram lamb, which just sounds fun. For each of these sheep terms, there are corresponding words that refer to goats. A female goat is a nanny, a male goat is a billy, and baby goats are called kids. No, not those kids. Moving on. When you close your eyes and imagine a sheep, it probably looks like this: a fluffy white body with legs and a head. While many species of sheep do look like this, there are some breeds that don't have the signature cotton ball look because they don't grow wool. Wait, a sheep without wool? Yep, hair sheep look like this, and their thinner coats make them perfect for raising in warm temperatures. Farmers that raise sheep for meat often choose hair sheep because they don't require shearing like wool sheep. Many hair sheep breeds, like Katahdin, Dorper, St. Croix, and Barbados Blackbelly, have high resistance to parasites, making them even easier to raise on pasture. At Grass Roots Farmers Co-op, we raise Katahdin and Dorper sheep on pasture year-round, and they're just as charming as their woolly cousins. Do you consider lamb a fancy food? For many people, eating lamb is an indulgence reserved for special occasions like milestones or religious holidays. When you look at snapshots of these gorgeous meals, it's easy to be impressed by the elegance of eating lamb. But lamb is also found in everyday dishes like gyros, burgers, and kebabs. Lamb is a daily staple in many American immigrant communities. So why do nearly half of Americans not eat lamb at all? Here's one theory. During World War II, American soldiers soldiers' rations included mutton, the meat of mature sheep, which has a more intense flavor than lamb. That gives some people the ick. But the soldiers didn't eat regular mutton. They ate canned mutton. When the soldiers came home, they brought their mutton aversion with them and distrusted lamb by association. Demand for lamb decreased, so sheep farms closed. And now, when you order lamb, it's pricier than beef, pork, or chicken because there are fewer farmers raising sheep for meat. At Grass Roots Farmers Cooperative, we think lamb deserves a place on your plate. Our pastured sheep graze on a variety of native plants, which leads to healthy animals and delicious depth of flavor in our grass-fed lamb. No grains, no antibiotics, no added hormones. Available now at the link in the description. I bet you've never seen a sheep in a fight. Psst, stick around and we'll show you a sheep in a fight. In folklore, sheep are often portrayed as defenseless prey in danger of predators, but in reality, sheep are far from helpless. In fact, they're biologically predisposed to detect predators. Their eyes are located on the sides of their heads, and their rectangular pupils create a wider field of vision, so they can spot predators from any angle. Sheep can detect dangers up to 1,500 yards away. If a predator approaches, sheep can run about 25 miles per hour to escape. Wild sheep with strong survival instincts can better avoid predators than domesticated sheep. That's why livestock guardian dogs play a crucial role on many farms. At Grass Roots Farmers Co-op, working breeds like Great Pyrenees and Akbash patrol our pastures, deterring predators with their presence and ensuring our flock is free from danger. Though most of our sheep have docile temperaments, breeding rams occasionally become aggressive when hormones run high. And when they do, man, is it majestic. We get lots of questions about where our sheep live. People ask, where is your barn? Where do the sheep sleep? Where are your lambing stalls? Like many farm animals, sheep are often portrayed in or near a barn. But did you know that sheep can actually be raised outside on pasture for their whole lives? These hair sheep breeds grow thicker coats to stay warm in the winter, then shed them in the warmer months, meaning they don't have to be sheared in a barn or shelter. When our farmers conduct health checks to ensure that our flock is flourishing, this happens outside too, in our tried and true corrals. In the spring, our sheep give birth on pasture, rather than laboring in cramped lambing stalls. We welcome our new lambs in the fields where they will live, graze, and regenerate the land. With bountiful food to forage, fresh water, and supplemental minerals for balanced diets, our sheep thrive on pasture, without a barn in sight. Do you know how many YouTube videos come up when you search dumb sheep? It's not a small number, but research shows that sheep are actually quite clever animals, even if they do get their heads stuck in feeders sometimes. In 2005, animal behavior researcher Dr. Caroline Lee conducted an experiment to test sheep intelligence. One sheep was separated from the flock and could only reach their friends by navigating through a maze. In the first trial, the sheep successfully found their flock in an average of 2 minutes. Within 3 days, the sheep completed the maze in an average of 30 seconds, showing that they understood the task and improved their performance. 1 year later, they were still able to navigate the maze, proving sheep have remarkable memories. Need more evidence? How about this? Sheep can distinguish between the faces of other sheep, which isn't that surprising, given the importance of social bonds in flocks. But they can also distinguish and identify the faces of humans, like the farmers who raise them, and members of other species. What's most impressive is that sheep can recognize individuals at different ages. So, if you show a sheep your scrapbook, she'll recognize all those baby pictures. Why do we count sheep to fall asleep? And does it actually work? Let's find out. There's no clear origin for the idea of counting sheep to lull yourself to sleep. Some have theorized that the tradition was started by shepherds in medieval Britain, who diligently counted their flocks before drifting off to sleep for the night. But the association of counting sheep and comfortable sleep may date back even further. The Disciplina Clericalis, a 12th century collection of fables, includes a tale about a king and his storyteller, which suggests counting sheep may have already been a well-known idiom. One night, as the king struggled to fall asleep, he called on his drowsy storyteller for a tiring tale. The storyteller began describing a farmer tasked with transporting 2,000 sheep across a flooded river, with nothing but a tiny boat capable of carrying just 2 sheep at a time. After counting only a few trips across the river, the storyteller dropped off to sleep, giving us our first reference to the soothing power of sheep. But will counting sheep actually help when you're struggling through a night of insomnia? Sleep psychologist Shelby Harris says that the simple exercise requires some mild focus along with visualization, which helps to quiet and calm the brain to set the stage for sleep. But when researchers from Oxford University tested different methods for falling asleep, they saw little success for those who counted sheep. When prompted to picture a relaxing scene like a beach or a waterfall, however, those same subjects fell asleep 20 minutes sooner. So maybe sheep shouldn't be the subject of your struggles for slumber, but they can be the centerpiece of your celebratory dinners, the star of your Sunday supper, or the staple of your scrumptious, savory snacks. Use the coupon code in the description of this video to stock up on succulent selections of pastured lamb from Grass Roots Farmers Co-op. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and head to the comments to let us know what myths we should bust next. Then, keep learning how sheep should be raised with these videos from our regenerative farms.